The people who lived upstairs from us were church people. They went to church all the time. And there was the woman who lived upstairs, Ruth, was just a big influence on my life. She was just really a neat person. I remember on Sundays when they would all get ready for church, I remember them rushing around, getting dressed up and dolled up to go to church. And the thing I remember the most, though, was when they came home from church. They just had such a glow about them. And they were just like on cloud nine when they came home. And that always stuck in my mind. Never did think that I would ever end up having a relationship with God, or especially going to church. My thoughts on church were, the church was for people who were weak, or, trying to make their wives happy or something. And I just never seen myself there. Later on in my life, I had a couple really good friends who I was involved with in the music business, Pat and Danny Liston. I knew them when we were all wild. Well, they ended up getting saved. Every time I was around them, I always noticed there was something different about them. There was just something, what I call that glow, just like the other people. They had this glow about them, and I always tried to figure ways around it, but it was just something unmistakable that was there. What's funny is I used to drive down this road here. I'd drive past this church all the time, and I would look up here and tell my wife and kids, I said, I think that's a cult or something up there. Those people, that logo and stuff, they must be some weird cult. When I was on the phone with my friend, Jerry Feldman, who was talking to me about wondering where my wife and kids were, and I said, well, they're at church. And he said, well, why aren't you there? And I ho-hummed around, and he said, that's bull. You can't, that's just outright BS. You can't, you're the leader of the family, you belong there, and that's BS that you're not there. And it's funny that it would take a word like that for a guy like me, I guess, because the whole next week, I just kept hearing that word over and over in my head, that BS, BS. And I wish I could say the real, because that's what I heard. The next week, we were eating dinner on Wednesday, and I said, I'm going to church with you guys. And my whole family had a very scared look on their face and said, what? You're going to church? What do you mean you're going to church? And I said, yeah, I think I'm going to go to church. As soon as I walked in, I was sure that I made a great big mistake, because boy, were these people weird. They all had their hands in the air and were clapping, and they were doing praise and worship. I didn't know what that was. I just thought they were all pretty nuts. I thought, yeah, I really screwed up coming here. These people aren't going to relate to me. Pastor Darren came out and started talking, and I thought, wow, this guy's real. He's not like most of the people I've ever met in church. He's actually seems to be a real person. And I just kind of got hooked, and I came back again, and a guy walked up to me and introduced himself and was real nice, Scott Adams. And I was just blown away, because this guy was just so nice and didn't look down on me. I thought everybody would think, oh, this guy looks like some kind of a hoodlum or gangster or something, and what's he doing here? But everybody just took me in, and everybody here has been so nice. It's been just changed my life. They've taught me to love myself, to love God, and it's just been a great experience.